Mindful Mamas. I'm Molly Ann Luna, your host, and today I'm speaking with Shauna Kareen. She's a soul doula, and she's visiting us today to talk about the one element that will ensure a positive birth experience no matter what. So, Shauna, I'm so excited to jump into this topic. Thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Thank you.
So I'm just going to kind of put the ball in your court, and you can tell us a little bit more about how you got into the type of work that you do, and then, definitely I want to know what's that one element.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I'm Shauna, and I've been primarily for many years, a birth doula, a professional birth coach, supporting women through the birthing of their family. And where I draw in the lovely moniker of soul doula is because I realized in my focus of being a birth doula, what I really cared about was this beautiful transformation of the mother, the woman into a mother. And so much focus is put on the birth of the child, which is miraculous and beautiful and magical. And I hold a special honor and reverence for the birthing of the woman into a mother. It's a huge transpersonal event. And so I love holding women through all types of really intense experiences that challenge them to take a closer look at who they think they are and the nature of their thoughts and emotions and how those play into the creation of their experience. And there's no greater intense moment than giving birth. So this is where I focus on being a soul doula and guiding women into birthing themselves in a really reverential way.
Thank you so much for saying that. That means so much to me. As a pregnant mama to be, I'm really finding that to be true. It's a time. Yes, I'm working on creating this beautiful baby that's coming, but at the same time, a lot of light is being shed on, my own personal fears and dreams and creations, and it's gonna just be a whole new soul-filled level that I'm gonna be stepping into this role of motherhood. So I love that you recognize that and that you are that space for mamas to be celebrated and step into.
Absolutely. I mean, you are being born. You are being born. And this starts in pregnancy as something completely alien takes over your body. It's no longer just yours. And so there's a different relationship with yourself through pregnancy itself. The intensity of childbirth can bring up so many new levels and layers of doubt, limiting beliefs, because now there's not only a mental, psychological, and emotional level to that, there's also a very physical experience, which brings in a whole new level of doubts and meeting yourself in a brand new way, meeting an edge of yourself that you didn't even know was there. And I really honor that because it's a big event. And I use the word intense a lot. I tell my parents there's really no other word to describe what it is to give birth. It's intensely magical. It's intensely can be painful, but it's also intensely full of love and energy and connection, and all of that is there. And wherever you place your focus is really where what that experience comes to be.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I try not to let myself slip into the focus of fear and pain, but I want to step more fully into the experience that I desire to have, which is going to be one of great joy and ease and inner strength. So I love that you're here to kind of let's talk about that and dive deeper on how can we cultivate that as mamas to be.
Absolutely. And this is the thing about fear. It's so easy to draw into this experience because there's so much unknown. And to ease our uncomfortability with unknown, we often will come up with different expectations of how we want a certain situation to go. And childbirth is no different. To anchor ourselves in some way, women love to have an expectation of what they want to happen. And that's very dangerous because there's a wide variety of what is normal and possible within the process of childbirth. So much can happen, and it's all fine. It's all fine. There is no wrong. It's a very core teaching that I bring to my clients, that there is no wrong, there is no right way to do it. There is just your experience. And that can be very scary when you don't know what's coming. Right? So expectations are a very natural part of the game. But again, now you're setting yourself up to something that's very fixed and inflexible, which can be a very dangerous component to just flowing with an experience that you have no idea what's going to happen. And doing so in an empowered way. And even intention can be just as subtly tricky, because we might think, well, I have an intention for an unmedicated childbirth, but I'm open to medication if I need it, which sounds like you're being a lot more flexible, but really there's still some kind of fixed, pinpointed ideas that you're trying to achieve. And so what I encourage my clients to do is to instead toss aside the idea of expectation of what it looks like, of what the actual process will be, and instead focus on a desired feeling state. How do you want to feel either through the experience or after you give birth to your baby? How do you want to feel about yourself or the experience itself of delivering your child? So you talked about joyful. Mm-hmm. What are some other things that you want to feel during the birth of your baby or afterwards?
Yeah, well, I definitely want to feel empowered. I want to feel like I say this, and I'm just going to be honest and candid here, that I want to be in a space of just total allowance, of just recognizing that the way it is going to unfold is exactly how it was meant to unfold, and there's like a lesson to be learned in it and a positive experience to be had. But that kind of goes against my personal nature of who I am or who I have been. So the fun and interesting thing about this pregnancy for me has been that discovery of myself of, maybe I could get more into that place of allowing instead of holding on to that fixed expectation. Whether, yes, we're specifically talking about childbirth in this moment, but it also ties into all other areas of my life.
So true, which is why I think this idea is so beautifully practiced within the realm of childbirth, this huge, intense transformational event, but is so applicable to the rest of your life. How do you want to feel during your life? This is so Danielle Laporte, the desire map, right? So, and why they think this is the one really beautiful, vital element to having a successful and positive childbirth experience, no matter what happens, is because, say I want to allow. That's my feeling state. That's your feeling state, your desired feeling state through the birth of your baby in a few months. I want to be in a state of allowance. And so whatever decisions come, whatever unexpected events that need to be handled, whatever choices need to be made in any one moment, how do I draw in? How do I hold tight to that feeling state of allowance? Am I allowing in this moment? And what does that mean for me to do that? So much of that is really a feeling state. Allowance is open and expansive, arms wide open, ready to receive the experience, whereas resistance is very closed and constrictive. It's a contraction, which is why I hate that word in childbirth anyway. Language is so important. So allowance. So in every situation, as you walk through these choices that may come up, how do I embody that desired state of feeling of allowance? Am I being allowing in this moment? What does that mean for me? What are the steps for me to get myself into that state of allowance if I'm now all of a sudden resistant with a lot of fear because this contraction just washed over me and, knocked me on my butt? How do I come back to that state of allowance and keep opening and flowing with this? So to me, if a woman can learn how to embody this feeling, no matter what comes her way, she's going to have an awesome birth experience because she's going to be holding tight to what was important to her, this feeling state of allowance or peace or strength. It's beautiful. And I've seen women exemplify this in beautiful ways. One of my mamas had um, strength was her core word. And when she was pushing her baby out, she was almost literally growling, screaming her baby out. And she embodied strength. And she did it. And she did it. And she knew it. She felt it. She roared her baby out. She embodied that feeling. And when her baby was born, she accomplished what she wanted because she felt strong. That's the beauty of really holding tight to a desired feeling and letting that be your focus over a certain expectation of what it looks like.
Shauna, I know that we're on to something good right now and something of just pure truth because I'm getting the chills over here thinking about it.
Awesome.
So thank you for shedding some light on that. I do have to be honest though. I'm like, okay, I want to be in this space of allowance, but also in such a way that I'm not disempowered. I'm not just like, okay, we're going to the hospital and then let's just letting, the doctors or the nurses or whomever just kind of like take over with interventions and things like that. So do you have any like tools or techniques or action steps that mamas like myself can be taking so that we're not in that fixed state of mind, that expectation state, but we can more freely step into that feeling state while still holding on to our voice. So
absolutely. I totally get that. And you're so right. So what I feel is, so important is to recognize that all that you have control over within this process of childbirth is not even your body. Your body's doing its own thing. You can't even really control what's going on there. It really is in the power of your mind and how you hold your relationship to what you think and what you feel as you walk through this experience. And so that's where that empowerment comes in, by controlling what you can, which is the power of your mind. And then you can let everything else, your body flow, the medical staff, your support team, your doula, your partner support you in the way that needs to be. You can move in the way that's intuitive and free-flowing because you're concentrating, you're focused on what you can control, which is the power of your mind, surrendering to everything else, allowing everything else. So one of the ways that I love to help do this is through a beautiful meditation. And I'd love to guide everybody into about a 10-minute meditation if you're up for that.
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. So we are going to use this principle of drawing in the feeling state that we would like to bring into this birth. And let's go ahead and use your desired feeling of allow. Okay? So go ahead and allow your eyes to close, settling into yourself, drawing awareness in, turning inward, allowing awareness to settle and be here in this ever-unfolding moment. Letting the observer rise up to watch and hold this experience. And to arrive here together, we'll take 3 large inhales together, and we'll let these breaths be deeper than normal, wider, bigger, deeper than normal. So go ahead and take a deep breath in, filling up, all the way to the top, as much as you can go. When you get to the top, go ahead and slowly let the breath go, slowly, as if blowing through a straw. Letting the shoulders relax, letting go. And taking in another deep, deep inhale, filling up, feeling the chest expand. You are puffed up with air, all the way to the brim, and then letting the breath go very slowly, 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 letting go, sinking in, arriving here now. And one last deep breath in, filling all the way up, feeling the expansion in your chest. And when you reach to the top, hold it, holding it, perhaps put the shoulders up and back, and then let that breath go, letting go, settling in. Go ahead and let that breath fall to its normal pattern. And take stock of how you feel in this moment. Perhaps just through those deep inhales, you've arrived a little bit more into this moment. Feel a little more connected to yourself, to your baby. And as we breathe here, I'd like you to place your focus particularly on the inhale. Without manipulating the breath in any way, just notice what it feels like to draw air in. Notice how your body expands, how it gets filled up. And those exhales, you can just gently, effortlessly let go, placing all the focus on the in-breath. What does it feel like to breathe in? To be fortified with air? Perhaps you can even feel yourself get bigger, taller, wider as you take in that breath. Feel the strength that you draw in as you are puffed up. Connected to this in-breath now, we're going to draw in that feeling state, that being state, desired way to walk through this delivery of your child and into the new role as mother with full allowance. There's a number of ways you can draw that in with a single word, allow. Maybe with a meta phrase, may I allow, or a simple I allow. Doesn't need to be very difficult, but with each in-breath, we're allowing ourselves to draw in allowance. Allowing ourselves to walk through this path to motherhood. Allowing our bodies to do what it needs to do to birth this baby. Allowing ourselves to meet every experience with wisdom and strength and trust. So with every in-breath, imagine that you are sucking in, you're pulling in, drawing in allowance. I allow with every in-breath. And notice how that makes you feel. You are fortifying yourself, building yourself up with allowance as you breathe in. Every in-breath, I allow. Be filled up with that. Notice what that feels like to allow. What's that state of being in your body? You might imagine yourself drawing in allowance through the nose and directing it all the way down to your solar plexus, the place of your strength, intuitive wisdom, determination. And let that go for just a moment, allowing the breath to come back, naturally flowing in and out. And this time, start noticing what it feels like to exhale. Just placing the intention on the exhale, what it feels like to let go, to relax. Notice the soothing nature of the exhale. The sense of safety and security that happens as you let the breath go and settle into yourself. You can imagine your baby, perhaps even placing your hands on your belly around your baby. And imagine with every exhale that sense of relaxation and soothing that's being passed on to your baby. The in-breath comes effortlessly in, and the out-breath showers your baby with relaxation, soothing safety. And we'll bring this to full circle by bringing back our inhale mantra of allowance. I allow. So on the next in-breath, for yourself, draw in, I allow. And with the out-breath, imagine your baby and let your baby know that he or she can allow this process as well, and that you have him through the birth. Drawing in breath for yourself, allow. And the out breath, allow, letting him know that when it's time, he can go through this process and do what he needs to do to be born. In breath for you, out breath for your baby. In breath for you, I allow. Out breath for your baby. It's okay to allow. Feel the synergy of this breath, the rhythmic cycle. In for you, out for your baby. Drawing in for you, delivering it to your baby with the out breath. And go ahead and let the mantra go. Just sitting here in silence, observing how you feel, observing the connection to yourself and to your baby and your relationship to allowance, noticing if it's changed. Wherever you are, whatever you're feeling is quite okay. Just noticing. There is no wrong. There's no right way to be. Allowing all to be here just as it is. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. So, what I want to say about this is that you can draw in anything you need. And in order to give to your baby, you need it first. So you might draw in trust, and then you tell your baby, trust. You draw in strength for you, and then you tell your baby, you are strong. It's a beautiful way as mothers who are already fiercely protective of this life that they are developing and bringing into the world. You can't give anything that you don't already have. And so drawing it in for you then gives you everything you need to give it to your baby. And that beautiful synergy will keep you both strengthened during this process. It'll be a focus that will carry you through this experience no matter what happens.
That is so beautiful, Shauna. Thank you.
Good. And this is a beautiful thing. You can use this this can be something a placeholder, a safety flotation device during your surges, during your contractions. As you have a minute-long contraction, start this meditation. What do you need? Maybe it's a phrase of like, I can do this. And then the baby with the out-breath, you can do this, or we can do this. This can be something that carries you through each contraction. So it's not just a meditation to get you ready and prepare you for the right mindset to accept and allow this experience. But even in the experience, you can give yourself exactly what you need to get through it.
I love that. Thank you so much for leading that beautiful meditation. I definitely felt my mind clear, and I became more in a heart-centered space. And I really do believe that our bodies are meant to do this, that I know as a mama what needs to be done, and I believe that baby knows what needs to be done too. So, Shauna, it's been so great having you on today's episode. Thank you so much. I know leading meditations is something that, well, we obviously know you're fantastic at, but you're also passionate about sharing. And you've got a few places our mindful mamas can go to find out more about your work.
I do, and I'm in the process of a whole new website creation, moving from more physically present birth work to more of a teaching role. And so you can come to my new website, which is kind of just a placeholder right now, shaunakareen.com, and sign up to receive. I'll be releasing some beautiful recorded meditations, including this draw and deliver meditation for both pregnancy and outside. You can use it for a number of beautiful things, plus many others. You can sign up for free meditations that I'll be offering soon. And I'm also in development of a beautiful course that really does, an online e-course that honors this transformational journey of becoming a mother, and it's called The Awakened Birth. And so if you sign up on my website, you'll be getting first news of when that's released very soon.
Oh, so fantastic. Shauna Kareen, thank you so much for being on today's episode.
Thanks, darling. It was great to be here. Enjoy, and good luck to all you mamas, and make this experience a beautiful one. It's in your control to do so. Let everything flow behind you, flow around you, and allow and be in full control of what you can, which is the power of your mind to create this magical experience. It's going to be beautiful.